But first, I want to speak briefly about coronavirus and our willingness to accept what the Chinese communist regime tell us about the outbreak, and also the determination of the usual opportunistic agitators in the West who want to use this crisis to push their divisive, toxic brand of identity politics. Now, the prudent measures Australia has taken to stop the spread of the virus are being described as racist and sinophobic, and not just by random Twitter trolls or Tim Supremacy. We've got Tim tweeting this. Not surprising, we're seeing racism linked to concerns with the coronavirus. This is from the former Race Discrimination Commissioner, who also suggests that the Australian government's response would be different if the outbreak didn't originate in China. Australian writer and noted idiot John Pilger went even further, claiming that not only has China's response been exemplary, but that under the cover of coronavirus, the US and its allies are waging war against China. The racist travel bans and media hysteria are not improved by the WHO, he said. The truth is that a number of countries, including Singapore, Iraq and Indonesia, have taken similar measures to Australia and the US in banning all foreign travellers who have recently been to China. Are the Iraqis being racist and fanning white supremacy by closing their borders to non-citizens who have recently been in China? It's curious that the usual race-obsessed simpletons saved their biggest criticism of the coronavirus response for countries like Australia and the US, instead of China, whose own citizens are risking harsh sanctions by speaking out about the inhumane, incompetent and at times bewildering actions of authorities who have been less than forthcoming about the extent of the outbreak. Brave whistleblowers are putting themselves in peril to bring us information and footage of what is happening in Wuhan and elsewhere in China. Chinese authorities have even arrested doctors working at the coalface who have tried to warn others of the extent of the contagion. Dr. Li Wenliang blew the whistle on the outbreak back in December before being silenced by Chinese authorities. This week, he died from the disease. And again, the Chinese authorities jumped into action, deleting social media posts and hashtags relating to Dr. Li's death. The Chinese regime is desperate for the world to believe that they have everything under control. To this end, they are heavily censoring Chinese news reports and social media activity about the virus and have just sent 300 propagandists to Wuhan to shape the message. The largest newspaper group in China, the People's Daily, run by the ruling Communist Party, did not publish a single word about the coronavirus epidemic from January 1 to 20. It would be profoundly stupid to uncritically accept what the totalitarian government of China tells us about the outbreak, or anything else for that matter. The same oppressive, brutal regime that locks up dissidents, harvests the organs of people unfairly sentenced to death, and puts 1 million Uyghurs in concentration camps is not above lying.